Yo, don't mind me. Can't even do that. All right. All right. Welcome. Welcome back. Second video today. Um I don't even know how to explain this, but had a shit day today. Had a shit day. It could have been worse. I'm gonna be honest. Could have been worse, but I lost my trade. This is like wait. This is my fourth trade in the last 16 days. So I was on like a win streak and I lost. I lost today. And honestly, it's okay cuz it wasn't even about not seeing my setup. It was just it didn't deliver if I'm being honest, and I missed a couple stuff. So I'm just like go through my trade today and just explain like what I was thinking in the moment and what part went wrong if I'm be honest, cuz I was sitting there. Honestly, it was just it didn't reach my TP. That was it. But don't mind that shit back there. That's forget that shit. Anyways, we're gonna go on. Yeah, yeah. This is ass. This is this is what you call. That's what you call that. Okay. That's literally what happened to me today. I don't know what the fuck went wrong, but and also this is not me showing emotion. I'm just I'm expressing I'm expressing in a it's good to get emotion out, right? Go fuck off. Anyways, basically, this was yesterday's video. You can go back and check that out. I explained that whole thing. I got two trades and I hit both TP on it. Um this shit looks wait. Am I tripping or does this look exactly the same? Just reversed. Alright, whatever. Anyways, back on topic. Today was something. So I got on around 8:54 today, before market open. Whoops. Before market open, and I'll show, like, I'll tell you what all of these like lines and stuff are. But anyways, as I explained yesterday, I got on market open. I marked out the 4 hour high and 4 hour low, and it was on a downtrend already, and I was honestly I was going for longs because my daily bias was bullish, my 4 hour was bullish, my 1 hour was bullish. So uh yeah, the only thing that kind of like kind of had me on edge in terms of entering a trade was it was exactly like this. And I double checked without using the indicator. My on NQ, the daily and the 4 hour were bullish, and the 1 hour and 15 minute were bearish compared to MES. And I'll show you, like, throughout this whole trade, MES did not want to go down. Like, uh, the S&P, like, it actually didn't want to go down. At least compared to how NQ went down. Like, it had some resistance to it, but again, they both carry each other down or up or completely fucking sideways. But anyways, um, yeah. So I marked out my 4 hour high and 4 hour low. Uh, you know, draw down the equilibrium. Um, basically the average section of this trend, of the 4 hour, and it went under the equilibrium. So I was like, okay, first step. If it sweeps the 4 hour low and decides to come back up, then it's most likely going to be targeting the previous high. And this is all time highs. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, it's all time highs. So it made new all time highs. And I was like, it's most likely going to drop back up to the 4 hour. And the only reason I'm saying that is because that's where price usually wants to retrace into, and usually that above that is where it reverses back to the downside if it doesn't have momentum to go up and make new highs or whatever. And also I've just seen it. I've just seen it in my other trades. So basically, I was just waiting. I was waiting for it to clear this 4 hour. It sweep liquidity. So that's what the LS is. There was a liquidity sweep. It inversed this fair value gap right here, and I low key at the time I wasn't paying attention to this, and that might have been one of my mistakes. But I saw it and I just didn't mark it out. Uh, and then I saw this fair value gap that formed. Whoops. Uh, yeah. I'll explain why it's not marked properly on this, but yeah, that's that. So as it got to right here where it sweeped liquidity, market open was about 10 minutes away. It kept making new lows, and I was like, okay, this might be a perfect entry for me for my setup. So my setup, I was just watching. Like, I didn't live record it, but I'll actually I'll start doing that. Maybe, I don't know, someday. But actually, I might do that maybe next week. On the new market week, I'm probably gonna record a live, like, demonstration of what I'm thinking. But basically, all I was doing is every time I made a new low, since this trend was already going down, I was like, okay, everything, like, my 4 hour and daily is bullish. There was no fair value gaps. Well, let's check. Hold up. On the 4 hour, I don't think there was no, like, reason why it would go up. I mean, go down. Oh, yeah, right here. This one. This is, wait, where's the 4 hour? Here's the 4 hour. It tapped into a 4 hour fair value gap, and I think that was my mistake. Cause I saw it. I actually saw it, but like yesterday, yesterday was a 1 hour fair value gap. It was the same concept except 1 hour, and luckily it hit my TP, which was in the fair value gap before dumping straight down. Didn't happen this time, and I guess my mistake was I was hoping for the same thing to happen, because I didn't really feel confident shorting, especially when everything was bullish. Uh, like, I thought it was gonna inverse this. If I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't know why. Just mistake. That's my mistake. That's my bad. I accept it. Like, next time I see a 4 hour fair value gap, I'm gonna pay more attention to it. I'm gonna be like, okay, what's going on? Yeah, I should probably, like, short. But there was a there was a 4 hour fair value gap that I missed. I mean, I didn't even miss it. I saw it and I just went against it. Like, I'm a fucking idiot. I went against it. So yeah, I was sitting. I marked out my 6 hour wick. Uh, my 6 a.m. wick. That's what it's called. Marked out the high, the low, and just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Now that I'm thinking back, I don't know why I did that. I'll be completely honest. I don't know why I. Okay, so I was just being a dumbass. That was an easy short. If I'm being honest, I could have shorted that, but I didn't. Um, yeah, yeah. Like, the 1 hour was the same thing. There was a fair value gap, and I shorted it. I didn't short this one because I'm a fucking idiot. I thought it was gonna go back to all time highs. Because every other time that that's happened in the last week, like, this week and last week, Every time I made an all-time high, no matter if there was a 4 hour fair value gap, like, or a 1 hour, it would dump straight up, like it would go straight up and make a new high and then dump. This time I didn't do that, so lesson learned. Lesson learned. Um, back to what I was doing. Yeah, entries. So, during this whole thing, I was watching, and as it got to right here, um, I was just it made a new low, sweeped the last low, and it already sweeped like buy side liquidity. I mean sell side liquidity, like the major one, and I, even here, like I was putting my setup lines, my targets. So I had SSL here, and then I had BSL BSL right here. And then I had a BOS right here. I still wouldn't have entered off of this BOS. I would have waited for it to inverse this fair value gap to even consider entering the trade, but um, I didn't wait for it. So it didn't do it. It didn't do what my setup is supposed to look like. So I was like, okay, it's going straight down again. And then I started looking back here, and I was like, okay, wait a second. There's a massive. I think this is a five. Wait, I think this was a 5 minute fair value gap that I marked out. Hold up, where is it? This is right here. Yeah, 5 minute fair value gap. So I was like, okay, it still has a chance to bounce back from this, or it might just go and sweep these lows, and that's exactly what it did. It went down, inverse the fair value gap, um, and just cleared this sell side liquidity, like all of it, like every single one. Oh my! Until about here. So I'll get to that. But yeah, I was also watching NQ the whole time. It was doing the exact same thing, and it just kept pushing down. So uh, they were both doing the same thing, and I didn't feel comfortable going for a short because it's just a straight line down. Like I don't see it because like for my strategy, if I want a short, like it has to match my entry. Unless it's so fucking obvious, it has to match my entry. And my entry would be like, um, say this is like forget this. Say this is the top of a uptrend, and it's about to reverse. Like it would have sweeped buy side liquidity right here, sweeped, and then came down, sell side liquidity. It's a micro sell side liquidity. Don't um try to catch me on my words. Sweeped sell side liquidity, and then came down, made a MSS market structure shift, and then I would have probably entered off of that, and it went down. It would have went down. But even this wasn't a 20 point move. Like it still wouldn't have hit my TP. But I'm just saying that in order for me to enter, like these three conditions have to be met. Plus the fair value gap and a retrace. Like if they're not met, it's a risky trade for me. So that's what I was waiting for, and I didn't want to short because it didn't. It just looked like I'm putting money in, and I have no confluences, so I didn't do it yet. Um, yeah, and we just kept pumping down, making new lows, new lows, new lows, new lows. Now, finally, when it got over here, uh, this is where okay, this is I basically caught the reversal to the upside, but it was short lived. Um, mango, it's a mango slushy. Anyways, um, yeah, I waited for a wow. There was oh yeah, okay. So it came down, and as I was watching this, I was waiting for a retrace and make a new low right here, and ES didn't. So I was watching NQ, and you can see how I marked it out here. Um, NQ made a like it fit my criteria where it did some sell side liquidity sweep. It swept sell side liquidity, trapped sellers, and then came back up, sweep buy side liquidity, and then made a fair value gap. This would have been my breakup structure, which I did mark. So I was watching NQ for my setup, and then I entered on ES, and thankfully ES also made a breakup structure with a fair value gap in it, and it also inversed this last bearish fair value gap. So yeah, I waited for it, and if you're wondering what this RB is, this is a rejection block. You might know Powell. Um, I think this was a 5 minute. I was watching it on the 5 minute time frame. Where is it? Why does it keep bringing me back here? Like fuck. Okay, right here. Yeah. I was watching it because I after this wick and this wick, I was like, okay, this is a clear like 5 minute rejection block. So I was waiting for it, and it didn't make it. It didn't make it. So that was another confluence for me to be like, okay, let me hit the buy. Um, I entered off of I did my discount thing as always. It came back, retraced into my um point 0.5. That's where I had my thing set up, my entry. Entered and then went up. Now, when it was over here, like I was like, okay, it's gonna go and it's just gonna fuck all of this up. Like it's gonna go probably in my brain. I was like, it's gonna hit my TP. It might go a little above into this. I think this was either 3 minute or 5 minute fair value gap, and then it would tap in and go straight down. But I was fully relying on the inverse fair value gap right here. I mean fair value gap before it got inverse, because I was like, okay, it shows momentum to the upside, and it's doing well. It's doing well. So it came back and inversed it. Inversed my fair value gap. So right here I was a little like, okay, either I'm not getting out of the trade because I just caught like the start of an uptrend after this huge, like, what is this, 20 30 point. This is 30 points, right? This is a 30 point like short if you were to enter right here. um yeah, like 30 40 point like dump. So I was like, okay, it's gonna go straight back up. Maybe it might just like consolidate a little and then shoot straight up. And it came down, and I was hoping it would inverse this fair value gap, which it did. It inversed it, and then it inversed again. It inversed the fucking fair value gap again. And then just came like I was actually watching this in class. I was like, bro, what the fuck is going on? I had a almost perfect entry. I was also watching NQ, and I was watching NQ in for the inverse fair value gap. I was like, please, if NQ doesn't do it, even if MES does it, it will still go up. And I just got fucked. Like, um, I think it inversed like 5 fair value gaps here. Like, look, inverse the fair value gap, bullish. Inversed a bearish fair value gap. Inversed another bullish fair value gap, and it couldn't inverse this bearish fair value gap. It actually came down, um, hit the rejection block, and then came back up and hit the inverse fair value gap and just dumped. Yay! Just went straight down, and bro, what the fuck is that? Um, even throughout, like, even at 12:30, if it was still gonna hit my TP anyway, so I'm actually glad I didn't. I got stopped out, because I would have probably just like um right here. I would have probably just exited the trade at break even. But yeah, I hit my TP. went straight down and went straight back up. So overall, I think the main mistakes I made was not keeping in mind the 4 hour bearish fair value gap. Um, I also I think I forgot that like if it sweeps a previous low, like a 4 hour previous low or a 4 hour previous high, and then continues to go straight up, it's probably just like dumping for the next like until 12:30. Like usually I see this and I note it, but usually when it doesn't like usually when it sweeps a 4 hour previous low or previous high, um it does it and it stops at around like how much ticks? Like not more than 5 ticks away from the 4 hour previous from the line. And then it would show my setup as a reversal and it would just reverse back to the upside all the way to my equal. But this time it didn't do it. It kept going down and I was like, okay, at some point it has to go up, and I put my money on the fact that it would be a 20 point move to the upside, which it wasn't. It was a 15-point move to the upside, and then it just kept dumping. So honestly, like this was more not bad entry. This was more I messed up going short or long, cuz best believe if I wanted to go short, um even if I wanted to go short, like there was no setup for me from 9:30 till 10 to go for a short. Like there was no actual setup. The only setup I could think of that I would have maybe entered would have probably been right here where it swept um the last high. This is buy side liquidity. Boom. And then it came down, swept sell side. You could also consider this as just a market structure shift. I don't need to put a sell side. There's no sell side. It's just an MSS, and it would have just entered. And I probably as a um I when it does this, this is usually like it won't retrace back to the fair value gap. It will just continue. This is like a what's it called? There's that one concept for fair value gaps where if they run like this, um compared to this where it kind of slows down at the top and comes for a retracement, you know it's going to retrace. This didn't show any resistance to going back up, so I probably would have entered like right here. After I see this candle coming back up, I would have probably just entered like right here, and I would have done my 2RR, and it would have dumped, came back up. This would have played with my emotions a little. If I'm being completely honest, I would have been watching this and been like, okay, let's not inverse this fair value gap like how you did it the other fucking 3 times. Let's actually dump. And this is actually in my ideal range of my setup. The only reason I didn't wait for 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. to 11. The only reason I didn't wait for a setup here is because it was already dumping. Like, and I saw a like start almost at 10, like 10 minutes before, like maybe 5 minutes before. I saw a long setup, and I was like, you know what? Let me just take the long because it's gonna go into the 10 and 11. But if I'm being completely honest, I couldn't have caught this. Like I even if I saw this, I wouldn't have gone short. Like, because that would have been a risk. Like this looks good, yeah, but it just inversed like 3 fair value gaps and it's consolidating. Like I would, I might have. The only reason saying I might have is because of this move right here. I would have probably, and after it inversed this fair value gap, I would have been like, okay, it might just come back up and hit this first fair value gap and go down, which it did, and it would have hit my TP. So Moral of the story, it was just bad price action for me at least. It was not an ideal like PA for me to like. It was kind of choppy a lot, and low key I should not have taken a trade today, but I did because there was no news and there was nothing, no red folders, nothing like that. And after I saw this shit, I was like, bro, we're so close to all-time highs. It might just go long and make a new all-time high, especially with all the news with Trump and Iran and like uh close to making a deal and blah blah blah. Like I watch the news actively while I'm trading because the fucking orange guy wants to sit there and tweet every 5 seconds at market open, and it just does this shit. He didn't. I don't think he did it today. But usually when he does tweet, it's usually at market open because he's fucking manipulating the markets. So I was just watch. I watch the news for all type of stuff. But anyways, um, let me catch my breath. The moral of the story and the moral of today's recap is sometimes it's not you, bro. It's not your fault that you lost a trade. Sometimes the market is just it's like a bad ex. It's like a bad ex. It likes you sometimes, it doesn't like you another time, and it hates you on Wednesdays in the middle of the week. So yeah. But even then, I am up today, or in theory. Hold up, I got a trade log. Um, Not really a journal, but I journal in my head. Oh no, he's journaling in his head. He has no discipline, bro. I'm thinking of my failures in my head. Okay, that's basically journaling. Like I started okay. Let me explain to you this. This doc right here, I started on this date. I was trading before this. I started trading last year, like summer of last year. With TGR's bootcamp. Um, I spent from that summer all the way to maybe like this date. Before this date, I was trying to figure out my strategy. I was trying to figure out what fits me, and this strategy fit me. So I was like, okay, time to simulate. And I like before I get my eval, let me see if this strategy actually works in the real market with a large data set. So I used to risk about 2.3 RR, like uh, risk to reward ratio, and I was hitting it most of the time, but it just felt like too much. And I was risking $80 and 35. I was risking $35, and this was because I had one contract on MES. I didn't know that I could risk more than one contract and still have my TP and SL at 64 ticks or 28 ticks. So yeah, but I did win my first trade that I logged. And I am simulating. I said it last video. I am simulating a 50,000 account with a 2,000 max drawdown. So I'm playing by those rules. And this was my journal basically. I just said the same shit that's in my head. Like it didn't help anything. If I'm being honest. I, some people need to do that. I didn't really need to do that because when I fail, bro, I'm blaming myself 100%. I'm not sitting here and being a baby and being like, bro, why did I fucking fail? I'm gonna blame myself. So yeah, I won $80 end of the day. I don't have a screenshot for any of these except for the last 3 or 4 days because honestly I didn't feel confident in my screen looked shit. Like I was using 50 different trend. Like hold up, this is what I was doing. This is what crazy trend like bro. This is a type of Yo, it looked like no, not like this. It didn't look like this. I'm not crazy like that. It did not look anything like any of these. But bro, it looked fucking crazy. Like I was using trend lines. Uh, oh, it was just disgusting, bro. Like I was doing too much, if I'm being honest. And usually you want to keep it simple. Simple is better. Chopin said that. Don't overcomplicate stuff. The simpler it is, the more beautiful it is. So keep it simple, keep it nice, keep it compact, keep it easy to follow. Because if you can follow it, the market's definitely able to follow it. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, but take that as you might. Anyways, so I don't have pictures for those as screenshots. Actually, I do have screenshots. Hold up. Yeah, don't mind me just scrolling past every fucking. Okay. Like I have a bunch of screenshots of shit that I was doing. Um and they were working for a time, but it was just not like look at this. This was when I first started trading and I think I was just getting lucky when I was doing this. But I was simulating on paper and this was forex. This was forex. So, yeah, it didn't look bad. It didn't look bad. Like I have pictures of my logs and stuff. Like look at this. This is what it usually would look like. And I wasn't using any of like major TJR concepts. Like I was using a fair value gaps and blah blah blah, but like I was gassed up at this point. Now my screen looks simpler and better than me putting 50 different trend lines. So, anyways, that's why I don't have screenshots of them. But yeah, this is my table. So, I was doing well, and then this is the second trade that I logged. This is where I kind of like mastered my risk management. So this is my sweet spot. 2RR, risking 3 contracts, $150 to make 300. 2-to-1 ratio, and you're good. So end of the day, $380, and I longed it. Next day, short, a 1. That's good. Um, I didn't take a trade the fourth time. I think this was January, February, March, April, May 2nd, because it was choppy and I saw multiple fake setups for my strategy. So I just didn't take a trade that day. Then I took another trade and I won. You could pause the video and read what I said here, but yeah, I'm not gonna read all of that. I just logged it to because it was the first trade I took where my strategy was kind of perfected and I knew what I was talking about. So yeah, I longed it and I won 300. Short, won 300. And this is only the 6th day. This is sixth trade. Um, I won. Next day, short. I lost and I actually exited. I didn't take a picture of it, but I remember the exact image of when I exited. I was in class. No, I was not in class. I was actually at a. Yeah, I was in class and I was on my phone, not my laptop, because I was going to a class and I saw it dump, almost hit my TP. It was like what, 10 ticks away, 20 ticks away. So I was like, you know what? Instead of losing more money, if I know it's already gonna hit my Sorry, I said TP SL, my stop loss. Then I'm just exit myself. It was 7 points above my entry where I exited. So it was basically like 4 points away from my SL. So I just exited. I took the loss and I was like, whatever. Tomorrow's gonna be better. And as I say that, the next day, I short again and I lost. And this time I lost 150. So 2 losses. And then next day, uh, I think this was a risk. This was a very risky trade because I didn't hit my 300 and I kind of panicked. I think my emotions took over me in all 3 of these days. That's why they look so weird. And I made 228 instead of 300. So I was like, whatever. Let me just take it. You know? Why? And it was a 1.53 RR. I am sticking to 2 RR every single time. I'm not changing this shit. So if there's abnormalities like this, it's either my emotions getting the better of me or I just thought, you know what, let me just take the profits or the loss and not lose more or risk losing more. Holy voice crack. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, um, that's that. And then I lost again. What can I say? I lost, but that didn't stop me. I think I shorted this whole week. I mean, I shorted this whole new week. Yeah, I shorted again. And I won. And then I started longing, won. Um, and this is where I have screenshots, so you could kind of see it, but um, hold up, can I? You can kind of see it. I took 2 trades, and they were both. Wait, I have the screenshot. Hold up, what am I doing? I have the screenshot which I can show. Don't mind this. This was for a group project. Law actually. We were doing mock trials. Which one was it? It was this one. Can I see it, please? Okay, this was basically a trade that I took. As you can see, my setup all the time. It swept liquidity, came down on market open, went back up, came back down, swept sell side liquidity, made a rejection block, entered right here into the fair value gap, as you can see, and you know hit TP, and that was maybe 10 minutes away from my ideal trading range. And then yeah, there was a 1 hour bearish fair value gap right here, I remember. So I had it just below that and it hit my TP. Over here, this looked, since the confluence with the 1 hour fair value gap to the downside, I was like, okay, this could be an easy reversal and it could also make my setup. So it did. It it swept buy side liquidity right here, came down, swept sell side liquidity, and made a fair value gap. But I didn't enter off the fair value gap because it was a running dump. Basically, that's what I'm gonna call it. So I just entered off of, the one that looked like it would go back up. Wait, did it? I'm pretty sure it entered into the fair value gap. I think that's it. Yeah. Well, I entered over here. So, and it started, doing some bullshit and it hit my TP. So that was that day. Um, won 300. Came back. Next day, I went for a long. Oh yeah, for the previous one, I went long and short. So that's that. And then I went long for this. Which one is that? That is this one. Yep. easy. And this was in my ideal trading range, for reversals. And low key, above here you can't see it. I was watching it. It made my setup for a short, but I didn't really trust the short because everything else was bullish, including the 15 minute at this period. So I was like, I'm not gonna take the short. And also I was looking for longs the entire time, anyways. So, you know, I didn't do it. But anyways, I was marking out stuff. Blah 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 blah. Came down, sweep sell side, and you can see how I'm marking it out and seeing if it hits my key levels for me to actually enter the trade. So what it actually did over here is sweep sell side liquidity right here. You could also consider this a sell side liquidity sweep, but it's a very micro one. I wouldn't trust that. But in this circumstance, I trusted this one. Buy side liquidity got swept, and uh, this should have been down here. This shouldn't even exist because there was no buy side liquidity. It just went straight up. This should have been a break of structure, and I entered off of that, and I hit TP. So that's that. And I in theory, I passed the Oh no, I didn't. This is the next day. Basically, one or two trades away from passing the thing. This was this day, right? Yeah. I took two trades again because they were just the most obvious, like, reversals, at least for me. So it's basically the same thing. It made a 1 hour bearish fair value gap in my ideal range. So I just entered and shorted that. But even then here, I already explained it. I actually explained this one, just same setup. In my last video I explained that. And then this was today where I actually marked out that I lost. But in theory, I basically passed my eval. In theory. So I'm just gonna keep logging trades, and I did this in like 16 trades. So, you know. But anyways, this is my stats right now. 13 wins, 4 losses, and that's my win rate. About. But I need a bigger data set for me to accurately give you my win percentage. So yeah. That was today, and fuck me. This was sad. But it happens. Tomorrow's gonna be Thursday, and I have Thursday and Friday, and I'm making a video on those ones. I might put a live um trading a video in there if I record one. So yeah. Anyways, that's it. That's the trade recap. Um yeah, it was a bad day, but I'm just gonna keep pushing forward, and you know what's the worst that can happen? A lot of things, but it's about whether you let it become the worst thing that could happen to you. So I've dealt with worse stuff than this. This is a minor setback. So just I hope you guys did well on your trades today. I saw a lot of people on TikTok who took shorts and they hit it. So congrats to all of you. You're doing something right. I got lots to learn. And if you didn't hit TP today and you got fucked like me, hey, we learn. We learn. It's just that. We just learn. And we get better the next day. So yeah. Have a good day and a good afternoon or a good morning if you're watching this in the morning, afternoon, or nighttime. Yeah. Peace.